Hey YouTube, Wes here, checking in with a vinyl haul video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my vinyl haul from the Friends of the Library book sale that happens twice a year here in Gainesville, Florida. It's a big warehouse sale that they have to benefit the library system here in Alachua County. They take donations throughout the year, so it's not just old library books, it's donations that people donate through the year. Gigantic warehouse full of books, movies, records, CDs, magazines, board games, any kind of media you can think of, it's probably there. They got art, pieces of art, they got all kinds of stuff. Really fun sale. People come in from out of state to shop at this sale. A lot of people with bookstores and whatnot come in from out of state to shop at the sale. Really killer sale. It's really awesome that we have it here in town. I was moving the weekend of the sale the one that was at the beginning of the year in the springtime, so I wasn't able to attend the sale. So it's been a year since I've been able to go to the sale. So it was really fun to be able to go this year. I went on Saturday morning, got there sort of right as they were opening up, so I had to sort of get in the end of the line, which wraps all the way around the block, and wait a few minutes and then walk in sort of as the line sort of makes their way into the warehouse. And it's kind of crazy how a line that just wraps all the way around the block and you get into this warehouse, and the warehouse is so big that it sort of, people seem to disappear. But I had a really fun time. It was really cool. I was glad to be able to go again. I just watched Mike's video, for his first video of his finds last night. Seems like he found some pretty good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do I'm gonna separate these into two videos. I went on Saturday, the first day of the sale, and then I went back on Monday. I did not make it back for Tuesday, which is half price day, or Wednesday, which is 10-cent day. I didn't feel like going back, so it's kind of tricky to work into my schedule because they open only a few hours before I have to go to work. So, you know, I have a very short amount of time I can actually go on during the week. But anyway, this first stack I'm going to share with you in this video today is going to be my finds from Saturday, the first day of the sale. It's sort of the best things you can get are right at the beginning of the sale. So let's go ahead and get into this. First thing I have here, I do have one music related book that I found. And that is 33 1/3's Greatest Hits. I know probably most of you are familiar with the 33 1/3 book series. Each book takes on one album and just gives all the history and all the detail they can find about that particular album. So these are sort of just excerpts from many of the different books, and it'll kind of give me a feel for which ones I want to read and whatnot. So that was a cool pickup. Picked that up for $1.50. So that was nice to be able to have that. Next up, I got a stack of 45s here. Don't normally look at the 45s, but being with my Top 40 at 40 project, just got me looking at 45s a little more. I did find some that were in there, but unfortunately there were ones that I had already ordered, but I bought them anyway. I bought a nice little stack of 45s here, so quickly breezed through these. First thing I got here is ELO Living Thing, back with Mama Bell. I think that was one of the ones, but I already have it. Another ELO here in a wrong sleeve. This is Telephone Line, backed with Poor Boy. Here is ABBA with Dancing Queen, and backed with That's Me. Next up, we got the Doobie Brothers with It Keeps You Running, backed with Turn It Loose. Fleetwood Mac with Rhiannon and Sugar Daddy on the B-side. Elton John with Someone Saved My Life Tonight, backed with House of Cards from the Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy album. Lastly, we have another one from my Top 40 at 40, I Like Dreamin' by Kenny Nolan, another one I already had. Yeah, I wish I had my list with me to be able to tell more about what I needed, but I just ran out of time anyway on Saturday. But Saturday was the Pride Festival also, and the Pride Parade happens at noon, so I had to leave early from the book sale. But that was what I was able to find in the 45s. Now let's get to the LPs. First one we have here, this is Electric Tommy. Didn't know exactly what I was getting here. This was kind of a blind buy. Of course, this is obviously not The Who's Tommy. Well, it is The Who's Tommy, but it's not by The Who. This is a Moog album, or Moog, depending on how you want to pronounce it. a Moog version of Tommy. So really excellent. Glad I was able to find this. I paid $3 for it. Yeah, overall the prices at the book sale have been sort of creeping up with the resurgence of the popularity of vinyl. It used to be everything was $1 or less. Most things seem to be around the 50-cent mark, but in the past 4 or 5 years, things have gone up quite a bit as far as prices, but they're still very reasonable. If you were to buy this online, I think this is a $20 album probably to buy. So that was nice. Next one I picked up, this is by the band Caldera. This is their album titled Dreamer. This is another somewhat blind buy. I believe they're sort of like somewhat like Santana, sort of Latin rock kind of thing. Pretty cool looking. Their album from, I believe it's from 79 is the date on this one. Yeah. So that was a nice pickup. I think I paid $1 for that. Picked up something pretty cool on the Audio Fidelity label. I'm big time into cars, and I haven't really done much with cars and stuff lately. It was definitely in my 20s. That's pretty much all I did. But this is the Winter Nationals 1964 drag racing championships at Pomona Dragway. Really cool, just recordings of dragsters from the mid 60s. Yeah, awesome. Really cool to find this. It's going to be fun to listen to this and hear all the old cars run. And I would imagine the recording quality is pretty high on these, and that's what they're doing. So you got the different levels, different classes of dragsters, and yeah, just a really nice piece, a nice vintage, classic sort of historical auto related thing, and it also melds into my love for vinyl, so that's cool. Paid $1.50 for that one. Audio Fidelity label, pretty dusty, but it looks like it'll clean up pretty nicely. Also was able to grab a bunch of potential upgrades to my Harry Belafonte collection. First thing I have here is a stereo copy of Belafonte Sings of the Caribbean. Yeah, that was only 25 cents. Normally I wouldn't grab this because this is electronically stereo processed kind of thing. But just to have it in stereo for $0.25, and it's a really clean copy. This was a bit of a joke pickup, but I couldn't leave it behind. It was $1. I have a 45 of Heino, but now I have an album of Heino. Sein, Grossen, and Erfogle 3. There's a bunch of other Heino albums listed on the back. Yeah, just sort of a fun record for $1 to pick up, and now I have a full album of Heino to listen to. Added another one to my National Geographic collection. I'm getting pretty close to having them all, I think. There wasn't that many released. This one was $1.75, and this is one of the more popular ones, The Music of Trinidad. Really glad to find this one at the library sale. Really cool, really nice clean copy of this. Of course, as always, has the book inside and stuff. So that is a really nice addition to my National Geographic collection. As I said, I'm getting pretty close. $1.75 on that one. Don't know if I said that. Got an album by Richie Havens here. This is Electric Havens on Douglas Records. I paid $3 for this one. So a little bit pricier, but not too bad. There's the Douglas label, just a silver label on that one. Next up, I'm always on the lookout for American Top 40 records. The radio show, they're getting hard to find. On eBay, people ask crazy prices for them. So I definitely want to pick these up when I find them in the wild. And this is the American Top 40 with Shadow Stevens from 8/27/1988. So some cool late 80s stuff on here. I believe this is four LPs. Yeah, this one's 4 LPs, because this one actually has commercials in it. The one I have from the 70s didn't have the commercials, I believe. I don't think they started putting the commercials in until later. But that was a cool pickup. Paid $4 for that. Definitely worth $4. People, like I said, people are trying to get $40 and $50 a piece for these on eBay, which I think is a little ridiculous, but definitely want to grab these when I see them. So grab that one. Glad to have found it. Wish I could find more of these. definitely want to collect them. They're really fun to listen to and hear, especially these ones with the commercials. You hear all the 80s commercials, really cool, along with the music and the sort of banter in between tracks by Shadow Stevens, and really cool stuff. So yeah, these are fun to listen to. Next up, something I didn't expect to buy. I just couldn't leave this behind. I haven't seen one this clean in a long time. It's an album I already have, but this is definitely an upgrade. This is Michael Jackson, Thriller. I mean, this thing is minty as minty gets, you know. Sharp corners, no ring wear, no spindle wear, that kind of thing. Looks like it was hardly ever played. I paid $4.50 for this, so it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive either. This album seems to get a lot of money these days for some reason, even though it sold millions and millions and millions of copies. People always seem to want it, so I'll be able to sell my copy for a pretty good amount and upgrade to this one. So next up, we got an album by Wendy Carlos, or was known as Walter Carlos at the time. This is Switched on Bach 2. So the second Switched on Bach release, electronic versions of Bach. Be cool. This one has Brandenburg Concerto on it. Paid $2 for this. A really nice clean copy of it. Columbia Masterworks label. Picked up an album from Ry Cooder. This is Into the Purple Valley. 1972 is the date on this one. Really nice clean copy of this. Paid $2.50 for this one. It's on the Reprise label. This next one was a mistake. I thought this was the album, and it's just a 12-inch. I don't know why I bought this, but this is Mars with Pump Up the Volume, the 12-inch. Again, with the sort of stereo, electronically processed stereo versions of Harry Belafonte albums, early Harry Belafonte albums. This is his self-titled, his second album. The stereo reprocessed version, paid $1.25 for that. And then also another one, this one is living stereo, so I think this is actually a real stereo recording of Harry Belafonte, Love is a Gentle Thing. Paid $2 for this one. So that should be nice. Living stereo series is well regarded, and glad I was able to pick this one up, because I don't think I have the stereo version of this. All right, next up, adding another release to my Folk Legacy recordings collection. Folk Legacy was sort of an independent folk recording label along the lines of sort of Smithsonian Folkways kind of series. They were based out of the Boston area, the Northeast area somewhere, I think. Actually, they're based out of Sharon, Connecticut. But this is FSI number 5, so their 5th release. Howie Mitchell on the Interpreter series. So that is a cool folk pickup. And they also always include a booklet with the lyrics and a lot of liner notes and sort of history of the songs, and talking about the instruments the artist plays and whatnot. So this is a nice booklet. Includes all the information you could want on this music. So just a nice series, and I pick these up when I see them for cheap, and that was $1.50. So definitely grab that one. Next up, this was a $2 pickup, something I've been looking for a long time, something I have to look inside every one to see if it's a particular pressing. This is Dave Mason's Alone Together. The die cut cover. Cool pickup, and then of course a lot of you probably know this already. This is the marbled vinyl pressing of this. I believe the first pressing of it, or early pressings of this album, were on marbled vinyl. Pretty cool for something that was released in 1970 on the Blue Thumb label. I must have looked at 100 of these, and they were all on black vinyl, and finally found one on the marbled vinyl pressing. I've seen a few of the marbled vinyl pressings in record shows, and they're always like $20 or more, which I wasn't going to pay. But to find it for $2 at the library sale, I'm really happy to find this, and don't have to look anymore at this album to find a marbled vinyl copy. So I was glad to have found that awesome pickup. But definitely one of my prize scores from this from this book sale. And last but not least, I picked up one piece of jazz. I know Mike is all about the jazz, and so I picked up one piece of jazz here from a jazz artist I really love and have collected for a while now. It's Ahmad Jamal. This is his album Happy Moods on the Argo label. I believe this is a mono pressing. Yeah, mono pressing. I don't know what the date is on this one. It's recorded January 20 and 21st, 1960. Ahmad Jamal, Israel Crosby, Vernell Fournier. And that's it. So yeah, paid $2 for that one, so that was a really nice find. There's the Argo blue label. So those were my finds from the first day of the Friends of the Library book sale fall 2016. Hope you enjoyed this. I will get my finds from Monday uploaded as soon as possible. We need to get that video shot, and that's going to do it. I thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments or questions down below about any of these you have. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already, so you'll be kept up to date with future vinyl videos. Have a great day, great night, whenever it is you're watching this. See you again next time. Cheers.